James Holmes' lawyers say giving victims access to evidence is unfair to the alleged killer. So, what we have here is a case of Holmes's own public pretender lawyers are basically kicking and screaming to ensure that documents containing evidence of the actual shooting do not get released to the public in any way, shape, or form. The plan is to plead insanity with Holmes, and in doing that, none of the evidence that he ever did the crime is ever going to be released. For whatever reason that may be. I mean, this guy could be involved in this for all we know. But basically, we know that there were additional suspects that night that were never charged. This is all stemming, what they're talking about here in court is this document or this lawsuit last week that was filed by some of the victims that's saying basically the theater was negligent that night by not having an alarm on the back exit door, and also for not having security guards. I believe what they're asking for, I'm not sure the exact evidence they want to look at, but I assume that it has to do with the mechanics of how the situation went down, and I find it really highly suspicious. I mean, it's basically obvious that his lawyers are just part of the conspiracy. Basically, they're doing everything they can to cover it up. This is a good article on the Westward. I'll have the link in the description. It even has the lawyer's document embedded on here. If it would ever load on here on mine, but yeah, so they basically throw everything but the kitchen sink at this to stop it. They've got 8 different arguments they're using here. I haven't had time to analyze it fully, but none of them really make much sense to me. I don't see how the public finding out about the layout of the inside of the theater and how the situation actually went down is going to hurt James Holmes, because his lawyers have given every indication that they're going to go with the insanity defense, which would mean that they are just going to have him admit that he did all this. So it would be so detrimental to that defense to have the public have access to evidence that potentially, basically, what I'm worried about is that this evidence is basically just going to directly prove conspiracy. So it really worries me that his own attorneys are the ones fighting so hard to keep this out of public view, which indicates to me that they would be involved in this in some way.